last reading out of this batch, just because I started with Capricorn since I didn't get to do a reading for Capricorn season, so thanks for going last again. Anyway, let's get started. So this is my first tarot deck that I've ever gotten, and this is the first oracle deck that I ever got, so that's why I chose to use these for the first reading of 2021, and this deck does not want to slide over here. All right, what's going on for Sagittarius? Sorry, you can hear my dogs in the background. Goodness gracious. Okay, you ready? Very nice. Koi fish spirit, there is always enough. The number 36, that breaks down to a 9, which is a number about like wrapping up cycles, reflecting. And that's where this energy of there is always enough, this is about abundance. This is about like, I mean, it can be about anything, but when we think of abundance, we usually think of money, but then we definitely think of other resources. And that's where kind of using this mantra of there is always enough brings you back to the realization that, number one, to channel more abundance, you have to live and feel in abundance. That's a huge message coming through a lot of these readings too. So you have to feel like there's always enough, even when you start running out of things, right? And when you do that, the universe kind of responds to that more positive energy and supplies you with the things that you need and want much faster. Sometimes there's lessons in running out of things, right? And that's what it's kind of bringing up. There's lessons in running out of stuff. But part of those lessons are about how to let go of more toxic behaviors. So bringing yourself back to the mindset of there's always enough. There's always enough of something, right? Something. It might not be that one specific thing that you wanted right that moment, but there's plenty of other things to do or other things to satisfy you. There's always enough. Abundance. There's always enough. It's coming out of the tarot for you. Ooh. All right, we'll take those. So, with the 6 of Arrows coming out first, you are in this place of mental transition. Especially with this moon right here. This reading is going into the energy of the full moon here in January. So this is definitely talking about how like over the course of the next week or so, there's going to be some shifts in the mind space, making up your mind, sorting through some things. It's a transition phase in general. And that's what this card is, transition. This is a transition phase in general. But specifically in your mind space, there's things moving in your mind. Well, that's nice. This whole Ace of Cups, Waters of Life, and how lovely with this water image here too. This is basically just saying like there's some fresh new energy coming in, something to make you emotionally happy. And that's definitely what you're shifting towards. That's what you're working on, is getting to kind of like this little fresh start of happiness type deal. And this could be all kinds of things, but it's pointing out how water is definitely like energy of creativity and spirit in a way, very flowing. Always about emotions for sure, and like joy and stuff. These are kind of like your ancestors chilling here too. It said like a return to something, right? So that's nice. Ace of Cups is always a good card to come out with. Oh, okay. It was talking about a return to like the original state. Like the source of the water, right? Because there's a lot of water up here, but it's almost like this is the source where it all comes out of. So it's like returning to the original state. And yet it's new, right? it was saying like, but wait a minute, because that was interesting. That was weird. Okay, so what it just gave to me was almost like you're in transition. It was saying how this is almost like the pit stop where you're going to be at. Like, this is the refreshing. Like, you're definitely on your way to this, and this is the final destination too, but it's almost like this is a pit stop almost here with this energy of like, you're getting here to the original source. And it's like, this is the fuel up before you kind of face this devil card. And this is the devil, but and this is called the guardian, and that's where it's like there is, thank you, Spirit, there's some major energy shifts that need to happen, and part of that is recognizing, that's what I was talking about with like kind of like the toxic behaviors. Not necessarily like, and don't take the word toxic as like toxic. It's so overused, right? Like, don't get me wrong, that is very overused. But however, this card especially is specifically kind of talking about those things. Like, there are negative habits and traits and demons on your back, devils in your closet, you know, or skeletons in your closet, devils in your head type deal. That are, it's pointing this out. Sorry, it's like wanting me to make it very concise. This is called the guardian because the devil energy card is not always about evil. It's not always about bad. What it is this specifically talking about whatever habits you have built within yourself that are related to this devil energy, materialism, addiction, sexual addictions, anything that's kind of out there that is actually not good for you, right? It's not that sex is bad. Sex is very healthy. It's not that money is bad, but money and greed to that level can be bad. It's not that recreational substances are terrible and bad for you. It's just like when you get to the addiction level, it gets really bad, right? So that's what, all of those things though that are created out of those steps, the reason why people become greedy, sexually addicted to substances, fall into any of these kind of more negative things is because they were protective coping mechanisms that were protecting you from all kinds of things. And this particular set right here is acting like it is about poverty mentality, lack, not having enough. There is always enough, and that's what Spirit's trying to show you. There's always enough, and you have accidentally programmed yourself over the years to have some very toxic behaviors that are not serving you. They're not evil, they're not bad. In fact, you need to love those parts of yourself fiercely. And ooh, yes, honey, that's where this Ace of Cups comes in, back to the original state, because you were original love to begin with, right? You were originally abundant, but coming to earth, being born and having to grow up on earth, you know, the experiences you've gone through in childhood, these things shape us into what we are. And it's not that you have to blame and shame and hate all of those experiences, but you have to recognize how they steered you in certain ways. Those certain habits and choices you made when you were much younger saved you and protected you and got you where you are now. So they're not totally evil. It's just they're the skeletons in your closet. They are the trauma and things that you have to clean out. And especially after my last reading, Sagittarius, which I got a thumbs down on that one. And that was the first thumbs down I ever got on my channel. So someone was not happy with that message, and I'm sorry. I just kind of say the messages that come to me. I always pray before my readings and ask for, you know, the message to be what God wants me to say. But that being said, someone wasn't happy with the last message, and it was a very dark message. It was some deep shadow work, and I think you're still going through the shadow work. But the thing is you've taken a nice breath of air, a nice reprieve. Like, you came up and got some fresh, cool water to drink. You're getting some lessons in. You've let go of some of that energy from that last Sagittarius reading I had, and it's like you're getting a breather, that fresh drink of water. You are recognizing things in your mind, and you know that there are some things that you have to face, and that's why that's over here, because It's like you're making a pit stop before you have to face some of these things. And I'm actually really glad to hear that, Sagittarius, because and I wanted to do this, and these two last ones kind of popped out here, because it's hard to face down our own little demons, right? You probably just heard my son say that too. Okay. That's legit. So then these last two cards that came out here that want to stick up here. Here's the Sun of Life, the happiness card, right? Totally heading back to that. And a beautiful major arcana card too, to balance out this devil card, the Guardian. So you're getting back to your happiness, to your core happiness, right? And then there's also this Four of Stones, protection. And this is literally about spiritual protection. And this is where Spirit's telling you, like, you protected yourself all along. You'll protect yourself moving forward. Spirit is protecting you. Ancestors, angels are protecting you. You are loved and protected on this journey. And what this is a dip right here, but it's like a dip in the sense of like refreshing yourself, right? So like wherever there will be a dip, you will rise back up, right? And face these demons down. And facing the things that you need to heal within yourself, because that's a very hard battle to fight, Sagittarius, and you should be really proud of that. And so the key that's coming out of here was back to this Oracle card. The first thing you need to come to in your mind is there is always enough. There's always enough abundance. There's always enough food. There's always enough money. There's always enough love. You have to get out of the lack mentality and realize that part of that has built up these toxic behaviors that keep you kind of going through some cycles, and you're ready to break those cycles. You are. So that's a good message to kind of leave out on here, Sagittarius. I hope that is more positive and refreshing for someone. Y'all have a wonderful time, wonderful evening, wonderful week or so until I see you guys again here on the channel, and I'll catch you guys later. Thank you.